Coming at you live, it's Big Cat and one crewmate today.
Hello, it is crewmate Thank Memes Senior.
Alright, we're got a new thing coming up that we're doing. Like I said I would in the last video, or second to last video, I would be doing Digimon Survive as soon as it came out, and like I said, I'm a day, technically 2 days late, but yeah, I'm getting it going as soon as possible. There was a whole controversy with trying to get this game, and yeah, so
Nice.
I had pre-ordered it for through GameStop. And the guy who took the pre-order didn't tell me what he put it under, so he put it for Xbox, which is no, because I wanted it for Switch, so I had to go through a whole fiasco finally getting it for Switch and then getting the pre-order bonuses too. But luckily, because I knew the guys there and they're pretty nice people, I was able to get it the way I wanted to.
We shouldn't have to buy it twice.
Yeah, that is true. That's why it's always good to work with people. This game, I love it, but holy shit, is it story driven?
All Digimon should have been.
Well, that's not what I mean by like when I say story driven. It's
High heavy.
So you don't really, except for like the story battle, you don't actually get to battle until like an hour and a half in. Like I shit you not, excluding the tutorial battle, you do not get to battle until like an hour and a half in. But it's also understandable because it's the build up. So another thing too about this game is that everything is in Japanese, with just English subtitles. Which, I mean, I'm not really against it per se, but it's also the same thing. Just like, kind of surprised you guys weren't able to get English voice acting for how long this game took to make. But like I said, that's like a minor critique. It's not really a big deal. I have no problem reading it. It was one of those things like this game's been in development for a while. I was kind of surprised they didn't do any English voice acting for it. But that's also the same thing with Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memories. Both those just have the Japanese voice acting and no English voice acting, which is fine. I kind of wish they did do English voice acting for this one because we've been playing this game so long.
Well, because most of the time, like I grew up playing Digimon, watching Digimon, had I think 4 seasons worth of Digivices. Good times. But like I only remember English, Thai, Mimi, like all of them, to David, to you know what I mean. So, especially with this, they could have had anybody play it, especially with the generic characters such as boy, girl.
No, you're definitely not wrong, but it's just one of your. I've just noticed that I want to say, I guess their last 3 games. I don't think there was a game in between. Or no, there may have been a game or two in between Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, but it seems like a weird choice. Like usually you do this for games that you know are at the time you release it are never going to come out in America, but Digimon Survive was already slated from the get-go to come out in America too, and so I was like, it just seemed an interesting choice. Also, your favorite Digimon?
Yes, waifu all the way. So I'm gonna say it like this: I'm always down for different renditions of video games. Just as far as their playthrough, you know how like Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Tactics, or what is the name of it?
A bunch of different styles in its games because you have the turn-based, normal, and you got the tactical, and then you have the lifetime fighting strategy. You also have like the I forgot what you would consider Final Fantasy 12. And you also have Dissidia too. Dissidia had its own fighting style too. So Final Fantasy actually changed a lot. I kind of wish when they made the Dissidia NT that they went back to the roots of actual Dissidia and made it like that game, because Dissidia NT just made me so sad.
Dissidia was one of the things that got me hyped about Final Fantasy. Like, don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy itself is pretty cool, but a lot of turn-based games can kind of get stale, or they can be brutal without. Uh, it can be brutal without skill. So, like, let's say like you're good. Let's think about like a Breath of the Wild. You can be really awesome at the game and beat the game really early on, just like if you're speed running it. But you can be an expert at. I'm trying to think of a good game. You can be an expert at SMT,
SMT.
and yeah, and they just would decide they just want to kill you.
But I mean, I feel like that's more fun because I hate the aspect of like, as long as you know all the skills and you'll basically never lose. I like the aspect like you can still do everything right and then just get screwed over once, and you're like, wow, I need to prepare harder.
Well, so I wouldn't mind that. It just depends on the level of screwy. That makes sense.
Are you
Like I was telling you
so
earlier,
mad about Dante?
a little bit, a lot of bits. Well, like right now I'm playing Doom Eternal,
Okay.
and I can play on different difficulties, and as long as I don't corner myself, even like learning the game, like I played Doom 2016, and then went from that to Doom Eternal, and the gameplay is basically the same, uh, with the exception of like the weapon upgrades or whatever, and it's a lot more freestyle. The best way I can put it. Uh, but when playing it, I can like die just because I'm not watching my back. Like I can get complacent and then die easily. But my skill level can increase to the point where even if I'm the best player in the world, it's still hard. It's still tough.
So with that, I understand. That's why SMT games are like special type of like interesting choice in a sense of the matter,
Uh-huh.
because they're meant to be hard. They're like the Dark Souls, I'm stealing this from someone else. I forgot who said this or put this. They're like the Dark Souls of JRPG games, and that's understandable. But what I hate, like, so for an example, I'm playing this game right now on normal. I'm only playing on normal because I'm just here to play through the story and just make an enjoyable time. I'm not trying to do this stuff on like stupid hard mode for no apparent reason. I might actually do some boss fights that are on hard mode because it doesn't seem too bad, but I'm keeping it on normal for right now. But say if I'm playing something like Persona 3. Persona 3 is a great example of this. Persona 3 is one of those things where you could be hella prepared and still get fucked in 5 seconds, and that's only because the way the game's set up, the dungeons are randomized. So you could get like the hardest enemies on the same map, and just come and just kick your ass until the next week. Speaking of you, I've not been talking about the game yet. Yeah, this first scene is hella confusing. Pretty messed up though, and slightly dark for.
Oh, that's the hands from JoJo.
Oh, that is not a good reference to make here.
Look, it could be from Goblin Slayer. I'm just gonna leave it at that. For those who know, you know.
Those who don't know, please don't look it up. I don't need to get yelled at.
It's a good anime. The first episode's perfect.
Is it really a good anime though? Because I heard it's just like that's like it has points just like that, and that's it. That's like its high point. It just does something messed up like that, and then it's like your everyday
Mm-mm.
isekai slash, or not isekai, but everyday just hero adventurer going to kill goblins.
Yes and no. He's good at what he does, and people ridicule him because the only thing he does is kill
Hold
goblins.
up, the stereotypical Digimon protagonist got goggles.
Yeah. Good morning. Never thought he'd escape me like that. Yeah, my bad.
You do
I
realize
feel really sorry, huh?
you do realize when I put this on YouTube, they're gonna have voice acting back, right? And your voice is gonna compare to the actual voice actors.
Sorry in advance. Substitution jutsu.
I'm gonna say this though. I like the simplistic character design because like a lot of the characters are pretty simplistic looking, but they have things that just make them stand out. I feel like Digimon always did their character design extremely well because every character is like, even like Tai. Back when he first came out, he had crazy hair, but his entire body was pretty simplistic. But you could still point him out like he had really good design.
Kept it simple, kept it sweet, and most important, they kept it about the Digimon.
And I feel like they still accomplish that with these characters here. Like some of them have a little bit more unique, really clothing stuff like that, but they usually kept it mostly simple, and I actually kind of like that. Like these actually look like clothes people would actually wear on an everyday basis. I mean, excluding the goggles. Well, actually, no, you might have that 1% just wears goggles. I mean, I'll always have my coat on no matter where I'm at.
Yeah.
120 degrees, and I'll still have that coat on. Oh man, gonna die. Actually, I have no idea. But I'm gonna make one prediction. I made this prediction, and I'm calling out now because I'm only a little bit further in this game, and that episode will be coming out shortly, as soon as I can get the editing and stuff like that for that too. But I'm going to bet 100%, some way, shape, or form, the digital world is going to clash with the real world, and it's going to cause problems. I can.
You mean like you did for the 5th time?
The 5th time, like 80th time, it always does this some way, shape, or form. Like, don't be wrong, it's the same exact problem, but they always make it unique somehow, because that was both in Cyber Memory, Hacker's Memory, and even in the original story too. They somehow find a way to make it a little bit different and unique, which I was cool with. But I guarantee you it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be a sad boy.
Yeah.
Hey, the boy in the.
Oh,
What's up?
you already played, right? Are you playing this like live right now?
No, I'm not playing this live right now. This is already played recording. I have 4 hours in total recorded.
Oh.
So I'm only.
How are you gonna make a prediction about it? Oh, because you haven't got that far yet.
Yeah, I'm only 4 hours. I'm only at chapter 2, or I guess part 2. I'm only
Oh.
part 2, so I'm not really that far. Like I've gotten to the part where basically everyone's gotten their first Digimon. We'll put it that way. I've gotten to there. That's all I've gotten to. But I'm 99% sure with how they set it up. I'm almost positive somehow the digital world is gonna attack the real world. But the thing is that it makes it different is. Actually, I'm not gonna say anything. You'll just get to notice that when you get to that point.
One of two things, well, one of many things will happen. Either the Digimon will start going into the real world causing havoc, or stuff in the real world is going to be affected by stuff in the digital world to where heroes are selected and then they go and fight and save the digital world.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know yet. But what I will say is, the thing about this game that makes it unique is that they're not afraid to tell you a character can easily die if you're not careful. But this game makes it clear that people will die if you're not careful.
So if characters die on me.
Yeah,
There we go.
They like die like Aerith. So
now, if they die, does the game still progress?
Apparently, that's my understanding of it. Like the choices you make in the story could lead to characters dying, and the story will just progress onwards as if they weren't there because they're dead. So it's literally like Aerith. And also, another thing I should say, even though I'm playing on normal, the rule is set that I will not reset if a character dies unless it's one of the three characters I will reset. Which the first character is Mamoru, which is the guy in the orange shirt. I'm pretty sure I pronounced his name horribly wrong, but him, and then the 2 other characters, I will point them out when we see them in their names. But so for example, if Aoi dies, I will not restart. I will just keep going. If she dies, I'm obviously not gonna.
Has anybody died yet?
So far, no. And my gameplay so far, no one has. I'm obviously gonna try to make sure everyone stays alive, but that's the rule I'm setting. I have 3 characters I can keep alive.
So if they die, you can just go back and like go back to a save.
That's the gist of it.
Hmm.
Technically speaking, you just go back to a save and try and fix something, but I may not necessarily be able to fix anything anyway. It just depends. I don't know how they do the death system. I don't know if it's just like you make a wrong decision and then that gets everyone killed, or if it's like you didn't have enough affinity with the character and they died. I don't know. They just made it clear that people can die in this game if you make wrong decisions.
Nice.
But yeah, Mario is one of them, which I'm probably pronouncing these names all sorts of terrible. Suijin, because he's also a character, if you couldn't tell, was gonna be one of them, but then I hate his character. I hate his character so much. But I'll get more on that later.
Takuma?
Wait, what?
Or is it Takuma?
Yeah, I think it's Takuma. I think it's how you pronounce it, Takuma, or... Yeah, I don't see no way to pronounce it, yeah. Takuma obviously is the main character as we started playing as him. Yeah, this game has a morale system and affinity system. The affinity system is basically, which they explain it later, but I have no problem explaining now because it's not really a spoiler. The more you like choose points that favor like what a friend wants or something like that, the more your Digimons in battle will actually work together.
Like if let's say somebody's more strength based or something like that, and you dedicate more points to that, it'll make it better.
No. So pretend Mario, because he doesn't actually have this Digimon box, that's what Digimon he has. Pretend he has Gabumon, and you already know Takuma, based on the original opening, whatever, has Agumon. Pretend I keep just using his points or going towards Minomora's points, like cheering on Mimoro. That means Agumon and Gabumon work together more, so they'll like boost each other's attack, or they'll heal each other, or they'll I think it's either boost each other's attack or heal each other in battle. So say Agumon's about to do like some pepper blast, and Gabumon's like right next to him. Gabumon will cheer him on, so his pepper blast does a lot more damage because the affinity is close. So affinity is important in this game because whoever affinity you're trying to like, because you can support everyone to keep a balanced affinity, or you can like zero in one person. This is also in like the instructions like, when it talks about it. And so I'm focusing more on Mario though. Like I said, I like his character so far.
Everybody else is going to die.
That's how it should be. And then the next character on that list is Saki, which they're about to show her, but since Moro mentioned her, it's fair game. So Saki's the girl in pink. I want to save her character.
Yes. So
her character seems interesting. That's all.
I was going to ask. I completely forgot.
Well, while you're saying that, the last character won't appear for a bit of time, quite a bit of time. And when, like I said, when they appear, I will whip them out. But yeah, there's only those three characters. Everyone else can die.
I was going to ask you. So there's voice acting to the entire game, right?
Yes, but it's in Japanese. Not throughout the entire game. It's through multiple parts, but not throughout that. There's some segments where there's not voice acting. Like when you're doing the exploration segments where you're like talking to people and trying to get information or trying to check rides and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10 they will not be voiceovers. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't.
Got you, but this part definitely is.
Yes, but the next part that's about to go into is not. If I remember correctly. Also, for the viewers, we're not listening to it with the sound in because if I have the sound in while recording this audio and trying to like put it into YouTube, the audio gets all sorts of fucking weird, and I'm not trying to deal with that. So yeah, if I remember correctly, I think the scene that they have no talking in it, it's just the music. But I think the scene right after this they have talking in it. So. And yeah, as they were showing the game, basically if someone has a red mark on them, they automatically either progress the story, progress something about it, everything else doesn't. So sometimes talking red mark automatically ends the like storyline you go on for. The other times it seems like it's just it continues on to like a bunch of series of conversations, but it's pushing the story forward. So usually I try and talk to the red anointed one last, so that way I can make sure I can get all the bits of information I can, or just see what the character's thoughts on things are.
Yeah.
So I know it's super early, but so far, who is your favorite character?
I'm gonna say the protagonist, not him, but the guy with the goggles. Yeah,
Takuma?
he reminds me of Ty just a little bit. Not so much David. Like David was a good character.
Isn't David like the season 2 protagonist? Or like the
Uh,
second Digimon protagonist?
mm,
Now,
yeah.
like,
No, season 3.
wait, what?
Season 3.
Then what was season 2? Because season 2 was, or not season 2, but the series 2, the second series, it was when Matt and Ty got older, and they were basically out doing their own thing, and then it was based on the brother and the younger sister, Kai and I forgot the other kid's name. I gotta look this up.
No, it's Adventure 2. I'm sorry.
So it is Adventure 2?
Yeah, Davis.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was thinking, yeah, because he should have been the one that Ty basically gives his goggles to. Which apparently everyone got really pissed off with how that one ended. Because like the after story doesn't like explain anything, and then it kind of just like throws him under the bus.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now. Because you had season 1 with the OGs, and then season 2, you had like Vmon. Gatomon was also there. Gatomon and Patamon continued over. And then whatever this guy, I forgot his name, who had let me see.
Yeah, because I think Digimon Tamers was the third one.
Fourth one. Because the third one had Renamon in it.
No, it's saying Digimon Tamers was the third one. The fourth one was Digimon Frontier. Then fifth was Digimon Savers, and then sixth Digimon Fusion, and then Digimon Tri basically after that.
Okay.
This according to the online one. And then we got Digimon App after that, and then Digimon Adventure 2020, which was like a remake of the first one apparently, or like some type of remake of it, which I actually need to watch. There's a Ghost one I think that's out right now or something like that. I need to watch that because it seems really good. A lot of people seem to praise it. Also, got to rewatch the first Digimon because the first Digimon I haven't seen it forever, and I love that movie. I've seen the one forever.
I felt like it meant more.
I mean, it did. It had a lot more to it too, and it made it look more unique because it did own both parts of the story, not just one part did both parts, and that was like really cool from both Digimon, the first one, and then Digimon Adventure 2. And I was just like, wow. But like, I feel like with this game is gonna make a new turning point for Digimon in general, though, because I feel like Pokemon is just right now severely lagging behind. And even with Arceus Legends, don't get me wrong, it's like a great game, has a lot of story elements to it. But this Survive game is just story wise, it's already blown out Pokemon by the park, and it's only been like 25 minutes. Like the characters make
I
you feel way too alive. It's amazing that they pulled it off in 25 minutes.
well, because it has more of that Digimon feel to it. Like that's something that I really appreciate about Digimon, where it felt like you were making a difference, not oh you're 10 years old. Kind of like not saying anything bad about necessarily Zelda, but oh you're 10 years old, you must be the hero. It's like but adults can do stuff too, but it can be more alive in the sense of it's. I felt it's between. I'm trying to see which games between a generic here you go to a hey like there's more friendship based versus you're a leader like a being like a gym leader and just collecting Pokemon just to battle. Your Digimon here will have more character arc themselves versus hey I caught a Pokemon and now I can fight. You know what I mean?
I mean, Digimon is like what Pokemon's games kind of aspire to be. It's like you have the anime and Pokemon, they make it seem like the partner is like your actual partner, and they get more. It has like more of a Digimon feel, I guess, in that sense. I don't know how else to describe it. Like you feel like an actual bond. Like take Ash Pikachu for example. Ash Pikachu is almost comparable to like Tai and Agumon. But what Digimon like succeeds in comparison to Pokemon is that in the games, your Digimon feel more unique in a sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's weird because I felt that way also with Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Because like Hacker's Memory, especially too, they put a huge emphasis on Digimon, especially in Hacker's Memory, especially in, like the second part of it. I'm not getting into why, but they really do. It made your Digimon feel even more closer in a sense. So I don't know. I just feel like story wise, though, it's already blown Pokemon out of the park. Like very few characters feel this alive. I want to say only like I think N is like one of the few characters from Pokemon, like Pokemon Black. N is like one of the characters that feels this alive, only because he has so many different. He's such a very complex character, and there's even theories about him even being a Pokemon too, which makes it even more interesting. Yeah, you know about that. And apparently there's a theory about him being a Pokemon. He was actually never human. He was just a Pokemon that could transform or look like a human.
Ooh.
N.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find you a picture of him. I'll send it to you.
参ったな。どうやらここから先は封鎖されているようだ。ああ、本当だ。立ち入り禁止のテープも貼ってあるわ。もしかしてミノルが言ってた落石事故とかと関係
My kid was acting up.
だったらやっぱ心配してた通りじゃん。何が大丈夫ですからだよ。
No, like my actual kittens. I don't know what they're getting into, but they're meowing.
何の史跡だっけ？
だからどうしてミノル君は予習してないの？ほら、獣神にまつわる祭事の跡地の。
God, sorry.
No problem, no problem. Also, something too, the Actually, no, I'm gonna wait to talk about that because I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll wait till it comes.
引き返す前に何があったのか、あそこで話を聞いてみようぜ。
But I will say this, I really like how they do the lighting in these scenes like that, how the lighting actually affects the characters and shading. Oh, so beautiful. The only thing that I think is the downside is that either A, the Switch can't handle it, or B, it's a glitch, but with certain characters, if you like pay close attention when they like appear off screen, it's like their body like just deconstructs itself. So you can sometimes see like a bald head, and it's just like, what? You have to be paying like very close attention. But at this point, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about now, or do you have actually
As far as what?
And
N?
yeah. make sure I sent you.
Yeah, him. Yeah, I recognize him, but I haven't got that far yet.
He's not in Arceus Legends.
Oh.
Yeah, no, this is Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2. I think he's in Black and White 2. Pretty sure he is. Yeah, but he's in those those games. No, he's one of the There's like a theory going around that he's apparently a Zoroark. Zoroark. Yeah, apparently he's one of those. It's a theory though. It's not. Nothing's been proven yet, especially. But it's a pretty interesting theory. Yeah, no, Arceus Legends, the most, well, without spoiling, because I don't know where you're at, so I won't say, there's like 2 characters that are really alive, or a few characters that are really alive. Obviously you have Adam and, Idra, are 2 very lively characters, along with, the commander, I forgot his name. And then there's a 4th character, but I'm not going to say the name, because you have not gotten there yet.
I need to play.
Yes, you do. You need to get to the best part. You need to stream it so I can watch you just be like, oh no, oh no, oh no. These old farts know how to crack a joke.
Yeah.
I've been so confused in my life. So that's another thing too. What if you got thrown into the digital world? You had to choose one Digimon to be your partner. Who would it be?
Emma.
Did you just say what I think you said?
I stand by my statement.
Okay, I'll probably undo. I think it's Guilemon or Golemon. Which actually, he's a DLC one for this, which I just finally got him. But he won't show up in the first 2 episodes because I didn't realize how to download DLC in the first place. I had to figure out how to do it, and then I did. But yeah, I think it's Golemon or Guilemon. Goodlemon, yeah, Goodlemon, I think. I don't know. Only reason I like him so much is mainly because of Hacker's Memory, which I can't spoil too much because I still have to put the gameplay on. But he goes into one of the Digimon I seem to like quite a bit. So when that episode comes out, I will, if I remember, I will point out what Digimon that is. But I don't want to spoil what Digimon I get in either series. So.
Here you're just talking to the different people.
Pretty much, because you have to keep talking to people until you progress the story by doing the right exclamation points. But I like seeing what other people are gonna say, stuff like that.
Are? あんなところに亮と咲だぜ。先に行ったと思ったら、あんなところで寄り道してたのか。
I will say this, I do like, because since it's about to happen, the starting plot point. I do like that you're not a dumbass for once. I love the fact that you're not a dumbass for once. Because in Cyber Sleuth, you're a dumbass. In Hacker's Memory, you just got screwed over for the starting point, and I'm not going to go into that too much more than that. In this game, you basically just get screwed over, but you're not a dumbass for once. It's like you're doing everything right and everything just goes wrong. It's like, why? I'll say that much.
You're the protagonist, but you're not.
Come on, guys, we're gonna go beat this person up without any skill with friendship.
I mean, that's all animes.
Yeah.
The boonies, you say? How rude. I haven't heard anyone say boonies in like forever, but it feels so right though saying it.
地元の人しか知らない由緒ある本物の神社がね。神社って普通は古事記に載ってるような神様が祀ってあるんじゃないの？それかお稲荷様とかそんなのかな？違う違う。地元の人しか知らないような不思議な獣の神様なの。
Another thing I feel like that's interesting is how often they change like what Digimon are seen as in every single story. That makes any sense. And the reason I noticed that is mainly because this is only between Hacker's Memory, Cyber Suit in this game. Wait, what?
I'm here.
Oh, I thought I heard a weird noise. Only noticed through Hacker's Memory and Cyber Suit that in this game, in Cyber Suit and Hacker's Memory, you see Digimon as just a program or a hacking tool that just happens to have a face that can like talk and speak and stuff, etc., etc. Whereas in this game, theoretically, they're seen as like deities slash almost gods or demons in this case. It's an interesting aspect to go about it, especially when they're supposed to be considered digital monsters and not like living monsters in a sense. And that brings up another question too. And I had
Yeah, what?
I was trying to think of how to say the words. I had talked about it in the other Cyber Suit. What is actually considered digital? And if digital comes into the real world, what's really separating it from being physical?
Yeah.
Because something I didn't really think about. Like, don't get me wrong, you have like holograms, yeah, you can put your hand through it, but that's about it. It's still technically tangible in physical space and still exists. So in that case, it's digital per se. Digital monsters came to the real world, so you have like all this terrifying Digimon because of digital. It's like you can't touch the real world unless they digify it too.
Yeah.
And then here brings another question. Say a human gets digified into the digital world and like actually becomes digital, and he goes back into the real world. Does he turn back to being real, or do you stay digital? And that's why I'm just confused. I am the confusion.
それともあの子の作り話なのか。
なあ、タクマ、どうする？
Also, the three choices always go into either harmony, something else, and wrathful decisions. Like basically, every decision you make a choice affects your morality slash karma, I guess. So you have to be careful.
そうそう、俺もそう思ってた。おーい、そこの女の子。ち、うっぜえのが来やがって。獣神様の神社？面白そうだね。俺たちもついてっていい？いい
よ。人数多い方が楽しいし。
ありがとう。よろしくね。
こちらこそよろしく。
つーか何こっちの話立ち聞きしてんだよ。お前らは仲良しグループで真面目に課外学習をやってろよ。
But like some like strong-headed bully type dude. Hatsu guy.
まあま
He
あ
has like
そう
twig
言わ
arms.
ないで
He's like a stick.
もう亮ったら
Twig.
めんどくさい性格してんだから
Yeah.
I don't know how he's so aggressive.
たくま葵ちゃん
He's a literal twig.
みゆちゃん
Like, I'm so confused. Like even Mario, Mario looks like he has more muscle than him.
とにかく僕たちは
Why is he such a twig? He's supposed to be a bully. He's like a little bit more buffer. Why is he a twig?
それ
I
か
don't understand.
このまま校舎まで引き返すか。それはそれで面倒なんだけどな。
それよりも何があるかわからないしやっぱりサキさんたちを追いかけないと。
そうだね。あと追いかけよう。
Yeah.
The ominous tunnel. Makes me think of Spirited Away. Such a good movie. Have you seen it? Spirited Away?
Yeah. What about it?
なんだか暗くて薄気味悪い
What'd
ト
you
ンネ
think
ル
of
だ
it?
な。
Good, bad, terrible,
ああ、
scary?
それに
I
ここだけ気温が低いような。背筋が震えるっていうか。
ちょっと変なこと言うのはやめて。
Can't remember?
まさか心霊スポット的なあれだったり。
やめてってば。そんなことより二人を探さないとでしょ。
I'm gonna take it as you can't remember. Copy.
I can't.
サキさんたちいないわね。
And we're coming to the part where it's gonna prove why I hate a certain character.
おーい。あ、誰か来たぞ。
ほら、修二さん。
ダメじゃないか。みんなとはぐれてしまっては。土砂崩れで研修
Oh,
先に
it's
行けない
for a
トラ
second.
ブル
I'm
があ
not
った
talking
の
about
に。
why I hate Susan so much. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
さっ
If
き
not, I
亮が
really
この
don't
先
care.
に行ったみたいで。
I dislike this character a lot.
まったく、亮君も年長者としての自覚を持ってほしいものだ。名簿にサキ君たちの電話番号があったはずだから、とりあえずかけてみるか。
Anyway, so basically he is that type of character, or like that hero in the stories that's always like, we have to always do what's right. When the time comes to do something what's right, he's going to freeze, pass out, shaking his
あの女
boots,
の子が言ってた
and get
獣
scared.
神ってどんなんだろうな。
And then not do it in the first place and either cause someone to die or cause his own death himself.
何かの動物なんだろうけど。
もうミノルくんたら教育予定
And
だった
it
史
comes
跡の説
really,
明
really
聞いてなか
noticeable
ったの？
in the like later point in the story. Like I
この
said,
地
I'm
方に伝
about
わ
4 hours
る
in, so it's
獣
a
の
bit more
姿をし
noticeable
た
around
神
there.
様
But
だ
even still, it's just right now you
教
can
え
see
て
it
もらっ
too.
たじゃない。
And to make matters worse, is he could have easily
あ
talked
の
to
子
the
他
teachers
では見たことないって言って
of
い
his
たから
status. He could have actually talked to the
この土地
teachers.
が
And I say
珍し
his
い動
status,
物
but
なんじゃ
because
な
it
い
was
かしら。
ranking, basically he was someone that was higher up, and the teachers trusted him to
それが
chaperone.
神
He
様
could
に
have
なって
easily
たたり
voiced
起
out
こ
and
す
said, "Hey,
の
there's a lot of landslides
嘘
here
だ
like that.
そ
You
んなの
probably
ある
shouldn't
わ
be
けな
doing
いじ
this
ゃん。
camping trip. There's a lot of
私
danger."
の
You
人
know,
は
he kind of
わからないことを神
kept
様の
his
せいにしたのよ。 それでお
I
供え
guess
物
tail
を
between
した
his
り
legs
し
and
て
just did as he
た
was
たりを
told
沈
and
め
trying
よ
to
うとしたの。
become like a
き
shining
っとその
example.
神社も今はほとんど人が来なくなっちゃって地元のほんの一部の人だけが参拝に来る
He's
くらい
almost
な
like
のよ。
fool's gold in a sense.
ま
Something, a
そんなも
rock
んだ
that
よ
looks
な。
pretty but really is worth jack shit.
ダメだ。さ
That's
き
how
く
his
んだけ
character
で
is.
なく、
He plays the role of being
そっか。
always following the
こ
rules
ん
and
な
doing
山
as
の中
told,
じゃ
but in
電
reality,
波も
he
届いてるか怪しいで
ditched
すもん
that shit in
ね。
less than 5 seconds if need be.
君たち、確かにこっちの方向に亮君たちが行ったんだよね。
それははい間違いないですけど。
この辺にはあいつらはいないようだな。
You there, Ghost?
神社はもっと先か？
地図に載ってないからどこを探していいかわからない
Oh,
わ。
Ghost died.
仕方ない。
I'm here.
とりあえず亮君、さき
Why
君
didn't
た
you
ちを
respond
拾っ
then?
て早く学校に戻ろう。
My bad.
このトンネルの先だね。
Fair
よ
enough.
し、行こう。
Hmm.
So, make a prediction. How do you think they're going to meet Digimon?
They appear in the real world.
How do you think it's going to happen?
Mm. Mm.
Come on, take a guess.
The internet starts acting weird, and then Digimon come out.
Is that your final guess? Is it?
Mm.
Alright, well, we'll find out in a few moments to see whether or not that is true.
じゃあ一緒にりょうくんとさきくんを連れ戻そう。
って言ってもどっちに行けばいいのか。
なあ、誰か近づいてきたぜ。
すまないが、そこの君たち、確かキャンプの参加者だよな。俺はここら辺に住んでるもので、今妹を探しているんだが。
妹さんは
Also, this is the next
Ah.
character. In
あ
the
い
final
つい
character
つも
of
フ
this
ラフラ
series,
と
if
勝手に出
some
歩
he
く癖
dies
が
or
あっ
the
て
other
な。
three characters die, or the other two characters die,
妹は なんていう
I
か
will
小
reset
動物っ
because
ぽい
I
や
am
つ
not
だ。
letting him die.
そんな女の子見なかったな。
I refuse to let him die.
さきたちと一緒にいたミュってことはイメージがだいぶ違うしな。
Final character's name,
ミュ
which they will tell you in a few
Ima
moments,
Mute.
and I'll repeat it when they do.
おお、
Yeah.
言ったけど。
みゆちゃんってあの子よね。猫耳みたいな帽子をかぶった小学生くらいの。
ああ、そうだ。あったのか。
For some reason, now that I think about it, it kind of reminds me of like Matt, how Matt was as a character
俺
in
た
the
ちが見た子は
original
もっ
Digimon
と
Adventure.
頭のおかしい子だったよな。
ちょっとミノルくん、失礼よ。
いやで
I
も
mean, this character's a
あ
little
れ
bit
を
more of
人
an
見知り
asshole.
とか守ってあげたいとかは
Not
違うだ
purposely,
ろ
but
う。
slightly more of an
お
asshole.
前らの評価なんてどうでもいい。それで、ミュウはどこに行ったんだ。
ごめんなさい。実は私たちも人を探している途中なの。
俺たちと一緒にキャンプに来てるやつとさっき神社に向かってってさ。それで俺たちはそいつらを連れ帰りに向かうところなんだ。
そうか。またあいつが勝手に。あそこには入っちゃいけないって言われてたのに。
And his name is
俺はカイ
Kaito.
ト。
Just
よか
like
った
the
ら
Vocaloid
君たちと
singer.
同行させてくれないか。
All he needs is some blue hair and he can pass
目
off
的
as
は一緒のようだし
actually
な。
literally
いいぜ。
really good pass off as
それに神社の場所、実は俺たちよく知らないんだ。
ああ、だったら俺が道案内しよ
But yeah,
う。ここで
so
生まれ育ったわけ
this
じ
I
ゃないに
believe
せよ。
so far,
もう何年
and
か
this
住んで
only
るか
from
ら
what I
な。
know, I think this is like
そ
the
の
actual
神社の場
crew
所なら知っ
cast
ている。
stories you can stay with,
任せてくれ。
unless there's like other
俺は
characters
ミ
that
ノル。
get introduced as
そん
you
で、
know villains
こ
or
っちがタクマで、
allies
こ
later
っち
on.
が葵さん。僕は引率の修二。よろし
But
く
I don't
頼む
really
よ。
really know until
Kaito.
it happens, because obviously I'm still playing through the game. But
なあ、みんな。決まってるだ
it's
ろ。
also yeah,
今
Nomura
が春
makes
じゃなきゃ
a
いつが春だって言うんだよ
joke
な。
here that's weird,
ならさ、
or a
北
statement,
国
and
で
I
もない
wanted to
こ
look
の
it
場
up.
所で、春先
I
の
don't
雪が
understand
降
why
る
he
も
would
の
say
なの
that.
か。
The statement, if you didn't catch it, was
Nani
there's a bear poop in the woods,
え
and I'm just like, what?
本当だわ。雪。
季節外れのなんていうにはちょっと外れすぎだと思うんだよな。
確かに。
こっちじゃ先週も降ってたな。地元じゃ異常気象だって話してた。
Apparently, it's just a rhetorical question to be like an asshole to people or some sense like that. Yeah. caught me off guard when I was playing this game. 'Cause, like he actually says it several times. Like it's not, he doesn't just say it once. He says it again. So it's like his like recurring, not theme, but I guess
このままこ
catchphrase.
こにいては危険だな。僕が見てくるから、
Hmm.
みんなは先に帰ってもらえないか。それより、
You
すぐそ
sound
こに
tired,
トン
but
ネ
are
ルに
you
入りません
sleepy?
か。
I am.
じゃあ後世帰り着く前に
If you want, you can head on out. I'll keep going. This going.
確かにそうね。
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
室
positive,
内
but
じゃないけど、こんな場所よりはずっとマシだと思います。
get some rest.
それもそうだな。
You owe me next time.
No,
よし、みんな、
I didn't.
とりあえずトンネルに避難しよう。
Yeah, for the viewers who don't know, this is like at almost 11 p.m. I am an old man, so is he, so we get tired early.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, get some rest. You just owe me it tomorrow.
I do.
All right. See you, boo thing.
See you, bye.
Bye.
こんなとこ通って行ったのか。
Right now, it's just back on to us because Divinity at its best. I'm just playing.
このトンネル、
Dank is a good dude. He's just
外からは
he's an old man like me. We get tired too, simply and easily. I still love him to death. Also, if you don't know who I'm referring to as Dank, Dank is also the same person as Ghost, which we refer to quite often in the previous episodes and previous videos. Which, speaking of which, also if you're watching this, I will be continuing Persona and Breath of Fire, even though Breath of Fire 4 will be the only Capcom game I ever play, because Capcom tries to copyright everything that they can. But I'll be continuing those games. I'm just kind of holding off because those games were meant to be a group thing where everyone watched it and talked about it. That was their purpose. I still hate Sujin. Oh, I'll figure out how to pronounce his name, but I still hate this character so much. I don't like characters like that at all. Like, I really can't get past how his character is. Like, I can't. I'm not saying he's a bad character, I just don't like him. I mean, technically he's a bad character because those stereotypes are not really good to have, because it just proves how reliable you are in the end. You just want to push the rules, push your own narratives. But, it is what it is.
でも確かにこれじゃ危ないな。
But if we use the camera light. Also, you may notice, which I'm pretty sure you have noticed already, but sometimes I'm trying not to click too fast, like to give people time to read, because like I said, it's in Japanese and not in English. So you have to read the subtitles to keep up, but... whenever I don't like a character, I tend to hit fast. It's not on purpose, it's just, I don't like the character, so I can't do anything about that. So, I shall try my best to not hit so fast, but please forgive me.
そういえばさっきあそこには入っちゃいけないって言われてたと。
It's kind of odd that Kaido was like letting them know that they're basically not allowed to really go in there, but they don't really teach about it. I feel like if you want to keep someone from going there, you should really teach about and explain to them in detail like why they shouldn't go there through teachings, but they seem to not want to do that. Which I mean, hey, their choice. At the same time, it's like your funeral. Also, spider lilies are a very interesting flower. The only reason why I know about them so well is because I actually had to do an art project with drawing one of those because I decided it'd be a great idea. If you couldn't tell, it was not a good idea, but I did it anyway. And I totally regretted every decision I made that day, but It was a fun. It was fun overall when I finished drawing. I think I ended up drawing like full spider lilies. I drew about like 7 of them. No, not 7. More like it was more like 15 of them that were full. They were like 10 of them were small though, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But 5 of them were actually really big, and it was a pretty brutal thing to draw.
秋に咲く花、一体どういうこと？
But I wasn't how do I say this? I wasn't deterred by having to do it. It was more just like let's just get it done and over with. Also with LNR, technically speaking, you can actually move around and show like a bigger screen, like where everyone's at. Cause you can actually scroll around and see where everyone's in your party that's in at the time where they're at. But doesn't mean they necessarily want to talk to you. So when I was slamming LNR trying to figure out whether or not who wants to talk to me, it was only showing that I can only interact with, as you see right now in Super Mario, that I can only interact with the flowers and the 2 characters. Also, the spores look like they're glowing, so I don't know why he was trying to refer to it off the flower when they definitely look like they're glowing, which also means... Actually, I don't really know what that means. But, I don't know, you tell me. Oh yeah, there's Kato. You tell me. If you were in a field of spider lilies and you start seeing that glow, what would you do? For me, I'd be like, I need to run away because I don't want to die. That would be me. Because I am pretty sure those flowers. Well, I'm not pretty sure. I know that they symbolize death, but aside from symbolizing death, I'm in a random forest with them existing when they shouldn't have existed in the first place in that area at that time, so I would be getting out of there. I don't know why they didn't get out of there like they should have, but they chose not to, and that was a fatal mistake. For whatever reason, if they don't know that, they don't, which is really kind of stupid. Honestly, a lot of these games is just like, anyway, I'm still gonna praise this game outside of this game. Looks, feels, and especially when you start playing too, amazing. But there's still parts where I can nitpick where it's just like, but why though? And I think that goes more to just like character motivations and ideals, I guess. One thing too that kind of surprised me that they picked Digimon from like all over the place. I thought they would have had like maybe, I don't know, Vmon as one of the dudes that's chills with you or something like that. But no, like the main Digimon series, which you'll see when they come, that they chose are just like all over the place. Again, I'm not against that because hey, Digidiversity. Get it? Digidiversity. Huh, I'm such a joker. But I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me.
見た目はなんかすごい雰囲気のある神社だな。やっぱあれだぜ。きっとおっかねえ邪神像でも中に祀ってあるんだぜ。
邪神かどうかはわからないけど、何か祀ってあるのは普通じゃないわね。
なんだろう、動物？鳥？
動物の模様があちこちに見えるわ。
おお、なんだこれ。狛犬？いや、犬か。確かに。ほら、ミノルくん。
Also, this is another thing too that just didn't make any sense. Taking pictures is actually probably a good idea. There's a possibility that they couldn't have found them, and by actually having them take some more pictures and look around more with those pictures, they also can keep the details safer later on. Furthermore,
どういうこと？
撮影しながら周りを見ていれば何かに気づくかもし
say
れな
they
い。
did find them right away, and technically speaking, then they're told they're not allowed to go back in there. Now they have the pictures for safekeeping. They can actually check out the shrine and stuff. But
ほら、さっさと行くぞ。
I don't know, that was like such a weird thing that he was getting complaints about, because even when taking pictures, it's not like you're not looking, you're still looking. I mean, you're focusing on the picture of him, but you're still technically looking around to see what you can snap. And that means you're also still looking for
本当に獣を祀った神社
a person missing. It just means your undivided attention is not necessarily there, but it doesn't mean you're not looking.
曲がった巨木とか。あと割とポピュラーなので、エッチな形のを祀ったやつとかさ。そういう話はやめないか。女の子もいるんだぞ。
もうミノルくんってば。それにしてもここって今回の課外学習の伝承にまつわる場所なのかしら。
伝承？さあ、どうだろうな。さっき話した通り、ここには足を踏み入れるなって言われてるし、あまり詳しいことは知らない。ただ、地元では、ここじゃ神隠しが起きるなんて話もあるぜ。
そうなの？怖い話ね。
なんだ今の音。聞いたことのない音だったぞ。
Also, nothing didn't make any sense to me. If you sound like that, it's I'm out. Like, I just...
早く探すぞ。
Again, Takuma's not a dumbass in this, like other series protagonists, where he has a reason to stay, and it's not just a half-hearted reason, but... It just feels like, to me, if I hear a noise like that, I'm getting the fuck out of there. There's no point in staying. Nonetheless, overall, I get a pretty good impression from this game, and I was glad that I did get it. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the same level as Digimon Cyber Sith or Hacker's Memory, because that game in itself was like a masterpiece almost. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be something that's actually pretty freaking good on its own. Another thing too that I do like is that the game's map tells you, hey, a person in this area is, you need to talk to a person over there as you need to talk to. And like some games, again, you Persona 4 Golden, where you have to go and talk to like 18,000 people to figure out, oh hey, this guy might like dudes. Because you couldn't figure that out for the Midnight Channel. Wow. Such amazing. Funny thing is, I've actually been to Japan. When I was in Japan, I didn't actually see any of the. I mean, I've seen the gates. I've just never got up close to one, touched one, or like walked through one. That's my own fault, because like I explored in certain areas while I was there. I didn't really explore the shrines and temples like I should have. I wanted to, but I kept getting busy and I couldn't find anyone to go with when I was there. Only because I don't like going places alone. Call me a bit of a big scaredy cat, but it is what it is. So hopefully in the future when I go back there, I do plan on going back there, I can actually visit several different temples. Such anger, such wow. And because Maro's using his phone, so if you actually kept Maro using his phone, he would never know what the hell this part was, what was going on here. But like my only wish is like this whole story part was like condensed a bit more. It's not condensed, and it's pretty easily known that it's not condensed. And because of that, it drags on, and it's just, oh, I know. But it's like, it's a weird thing, because it's dragging, but it's really not dragging that much, and it could always be worse. The story could be like 4 times as long, and then, I get to battle like 6 hours in, and on top of the story being that long, that it could just be a trash story. So that would be a lot worse, but also going angry and then trying to lead out of anger because he's being quote-unquote disrespectful when he really wasn't being disrespected, but whatever. You can see why I dislike his character. Like I said, I don't hate his character, but I still do dislike it because I feel like he just yabbers to yabber instead of actually trying to be useful in a sense. I mean, he tries to be useful, but he's useful for all, or he's trying to be useful for all the wrong reasons. Instead of ensuring that he can be of use to the people he's working with, he focuses on just trying to be of use in his own desires.
神社のすぐ裏だし、いくら禁足地とはいえ、誰かから話の一つでも聞いていてもおかしくない。おかしくないはずだが。言うやつ、もしかして。
いくらなんでも、こんなところに女の子が入ったりは。
いや、あいつのことだ。
Also, I like how Kaido's definition of Miu just keeps slowly changing. First, he tried to proclaim about how innocent she was, and now it's just like she's gonna go on there without anyone telling her not to. It's like, we need to stop this.
僕らも行こう。おーい、サキよー。
Another question I have too is where is like
返事をして。
where are the people they're looking for? Like so far we've gotten places and explored around the area of the shrine, and it's like once you get farther you'll see what happens. But it's like one of those things we're just wondering like where the hell are they in the first place? And that still kind of confuses me. I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously you don't know the full map, so it could have just been like another shrine in another area. But it's just like you didn't hear them at all.
ああ、いたいた。
急いで行くから心配したわ。
Shouldn't have been that far. At least I hope.
あれは。
And even then, when Takuma and his gang were going after Yuki and them,
壁一面に絵が。
after Suki and them, they only left only a few seconds after them, and then they were just like completely gone. It was almost like they sprinted away, but the story gave no indication of them sprinting.
なん。
なんというか、とても神聖な感じがするわ。
Like, I can understand if like we were sitting there for like 30 minutes before we finally made a move, then that would make sense. Probably go straight up
そうだ
on,
ったそうだ
but
った。ごめんな、つい。
Also, some of these choices seem kind of redundant. Well, should we find the others or explore? We should really be finding the others. Yeah. However, I want to explore now. What? Now we're exploring. It's just like, it's the illusion of choice that they give you sometimes, and I'm just like, why even ask the question? Just let us start exploring. Also, I don't think I said it yet, but this professor creeps me out, and I feel like he's either one of the villains or he's gonna be linked to a villain.
君たち、ここは入ったらダメな場所だぞ。何をしているんだ？
あ、その。
そういうあんたこそこんなとこで何してんだ？
ああ、心配しないでくれ。
My purpose here is far from nefarious. I'm a researcher of the Kinugami and Kinugami faith. See, something that's really strange is I know he had to push to get the permission to investigate this area, but it kind of seemed like he was pretty serious about how the village wasn't with people coming to see this area, and they were like, no. So how was he able to get permission? Like, did he like blackmail someone or like force a bunch of money on them, something like that? I don't think they really get into it. He just said he got permission. I mean, this may become a plot point later on because Digimon's like that. They like to sow the seeds of plot throughout the story, and then those plot points that they sow just come back and become a full-edged story on its own, which is
それなん
unique.
ですが。
俺は他んとこ探してくるわ。
I managed to
ほら。修二さん。とりあえず好きにや
get
らせて
slightly
おきましょう。
confused. And now you get the dialogue back, plot, exposition. Where you retouch two religious things and talk about the religious things and try and figure out if you ever understand everything about the religious things. Even though you apparently were supposed to study this last night and completely forgot about everything you studied. Does that make sense? Logic at its finest. I will say this: seeing from the opening cinematic that they show for each of the characters, I feel like he actually might die, and he might be a character you can't save, kind of like how with Aerith, she dies at a certain point in the original Final Fantasy VII story, and no matter what you do, you can't save her. So he might be like that, but I feel like if he's trying to be the Aerith character, or stereotype, I guess I should say, they need to bring him in more so the impact of him dying has a lot of effect. Wall time. So, nothing to the education of the professor is how, not necessarily hypocritical he is, but he like goes back on his word often. Talks about wanting to get us a say something like that that we can use. Well, the only problem is also I'm kind of curious what Digimon that is that they have depicted. I wonder if it's like one of the 7 deadly Digimon, like Dark Digimon, or it's like an entirely new Digimon that they designed for this game. I mean, like I said, I understand he wants to teach like the science of everything and stuff like that, but saying something is true and then going about how you went to unravel the actual truth behind it just means that you don't really believe in everything being true in the first place. You just want to find the correct answers. That's why it's more like, yeah. Also, I wonder if there's like code for that because I feel like those hieroglyphics are not. I shouldn't call them hieroglyphics, but I feel like those lettering that they're talking about. I feel like they're specialized just Digimon. They're like their own Digimon code. I wonder if there's like a translation for it or like a password for it. Plot screen.
この子ミュ
どうしたんだ？何があったの？
なんか変なのにいきなり出くわして逃げて。
Hey, I don't blame her. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually like Taki as a character so far, but if I see something weird, I'm out. I am out. I am not staying around to try and figure out what it is. I am gone. Gone like the wind. Now we got the Persona 4 vibes. Man, this fog is too much. What do we do? Ooh, woo.
それよりサキさんはさっきの悲鳴って一体。こっち来ないで。
何？
And now you see Gatsumon, which is also interesting that they would choose that Digimon, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember serves correctly, in Hacker's Memory. I'm pretty sure it's Hacker's Memory. 99% sure it's Hacker's Memory. It's one of the Digimon that you can actually choose in the get-go, from the beginning of it, to like be your partner. And that's the one they chose to make like seem evil, which is kind of throwing a lot of shade at that poor Digimon. Like a Merrick fuck ton of shade at that poor Digimon. I don't think that Digimon deserves it. And all it's about done is just be adorable and innocent. I mean, well, not really in this game. It is definitely not innocent in this game, but in other games, it's been very just adorable and innocent. And as I told you, Suijin starts to just break down and not know what to do. And then the fake bully starts to break down also. That's right, I forgot Kaido ran off for a second and then didn't realize when he came back. And this is why I like Saki even more, because when it came down to it, she tried to tell everyone to stay away to try and keep them safe because she cares about them. I was like, damn Saki. Damn. Now I gotta keep you alive. Watch though, she's gonna be one of those characters you can't keep alive because you're like straight up just gonna die no matter what you do. If that's the case, I will cry. I will cry if that happens. I will be very sad. It's just like, why do you do this to me? And then the professor now finally joins in. It's just like, I feel like you were 10 years too late, my friend. Also, I agree with the talking to it idea, but you can already tell that it's just not a great idea, Takuma. That was a really bad idea, Takuma. And if I chose it, then I was also right now I'm just doing 3 things at once. I'm not looking because I don't remember if I did choose that, or if he was just like, let's try to talk to it. Bad idea. Bad idea on my part, especially. Well, speaking of which, how did we not die? Unless the Digimon was not purposely not trying to kill us, I'm pretty sure like a full power blow from Digimon, especially Gatsumon, should easily kill. Also the trope, my chick always falls. I guess she's Japanese, but she's white. She's white Japanese. Yeah. And then we get knocked out. Because block convenience. Or actually, that's in reality, we just got launched into the air. I would love to see them animate this, like just seeing him get slugged by Gatsumon. Launched into a tree. See like him spit out blood, it's like the anime moment. Falls to the ground. No, I have to get up for my friends. My friends! And Tsuji is losing his mind slowly. But to be fair, I have to give him credit because I would probably lose my shit here too if you saw all those guys with their eyes just glowing red. Way to make an adorable thing look just like straight up demonic. Speaking of the earthquake, though, I wonder if the Gatsumon's the one who caused it.
やべえぞ。それに霧も濃くなってきた。みんな
I mean, once it spreads into the pit, there's like fucking
みんな
20 of them
気を
there.
つけるんだ。
I feel like all they need to do is just slam their foot into the ground and then earthquake.
シュンさん、どうしました？
Now I fell through a hole. Because plot. Then you get the cutscene animatic. See, I don't like the fact that they have spiralies around the characters. I hate that so much. It just shows you how easily they can die. It's like, but why though? Why? Why are you putting this down our throat how easily they can die? And this almost scared me because I was like, damn it, I have to keep him alive because I thought that was Terriermon. Don't get me wrong, Lopamon is also cute, but Terriermon is cuter, so I can let it go. But if it was Terriermon, I was like, damn it, I have to keep him alive. But no, if he dies, he dies. I'm not going to purposely try and kill him, obviously, no. I won't do that, it's messed up. I'm trying to get through where everyone lives. But, if they do die by a bad decision I made, then they will just stay dead, sadly. This was such a weird Digimon choice for her, I feel like. I just don't know why. I mean, there might be more story-wise why they chose that one, but it seems like an interesting choice. Also, I'm almost 99% sure a guy with the name just Professor only is either A, going to be the one who dies first, B, going to be the, what's it called? Not plot-driven character, but, a story-driven plot point where, like, he's either gonna sacrifice himself or something to make sure someone wins something. Or, the final point is he's the villain somehow. I feel like I'm between the first and last one, because I feel like he is the villain. They're just trying really hard to make it seem like it's something you would not expect.
そうだ。みんな無事なのか。
But in the same instance, I just feel like people just have like that inner I guess sixth sense that will just like immediately guess that ideal. Because when someone's writing a story, you don't want to just put so much effort into one character and then just kill them off. You don't really want to do that, but some people will. But usually the stories that do that usually have some of the best characters, because the best stories, because you don't know, and you're more invested in trying to hope that your characters that you, I guess, like, don't die. Makes sense? I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But I feel like as long as as long as people just make sure they differentiate their own personal feelings when writing a story from like the story they're trying to write, and then the story should come out good. But in some cases, and you notice in a lot of stories nowadays, like you can tell when they interject just to change the idea of the character themselves, instead of let the character be themselves. Because the character's supposed to die at a certain point, the character's supposed to die at a certain point. What I mean by that is, like, don't Deus Machina no reason to save a character unless it's already there. If you have Deus Machinas, that's not usually ever a good thing, and I hate when stories do that because it's just a way to like try and keep the one they like the most alive for no apparent reason, which makes the story boring because then it's just like, oh, this guy can never die or he'll never lose or some shit like that.
岩みたいなやつなのか。音が聞こえなくなった。何が近づいてるのかわからないのも怖いし。
And then this time you're playing hide and seek. Because reasons, I guess. It makes sense story-wise, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Also, another thing too that bothered me is when you have all the good Mon appearing and then like all wreaking havoc. At first, you didn't see him because you had to look at them through a phone. I was wondering if, and then after that, they just all saw him for no apparent reason. My whole thing is either A, do they just like make themselves appear, or B, once you see them through the phone, change in cognition happens and you realize they're there, so you just believe that they're there, and then you see them no matter what. Like it has to be one of the two, but which one of the two is it? Why? This part I got slightly confused. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And then I realized, oh, I gotta see the one on the farthest left because why did I not know that? I am not a smart man. I do like the autofocus function that it has, like it gets you close and it'll put you in automatically. Also, I wonder how Cormon was getting away so fast. He doesn't have feet from my recollection, so I don't know how he was speeding away so fast. But even though I said before, I still love the art for this game. It's so beautifully done. I know this game is more just like a visual novel, with tactical turn-based elements added to it. But I'm okay with that. It was well done enough to where it's just like I'm fine with that aspect added to it. Because what they've done with these little sections, they've just like sometimes ripped the character apart during these things because they don't think about how the character would actually interact with these other people, other things. You just force them to act the way they want it to. He's so adorable. Look at him with his small little smile. What would you do if Koromon just approached you? You gotta run like fucking hell. I'd be gone like the wind because I'm not sitting around with something I don't know what it is, because that to me either spells disease, either spells certain death. You never know, this thing could like just like explode and mutate itself back together and just continuously explode. In this day and age, anything's possible with all the radiation and chemicals that's been in the air. Anything is possible. Also, where is its stomach? Because, like, you know it eats food, but it's just like, it's literally a ball. And, like, half its face is like, or not half its face, its mouth is like half its body, so. Just, I don't know. In classic case of amnesia, yee. Yeah, when he said this, I thought he was about to start trying to attack Takuma and like trying to eat his arms or legs or something like that. I've been craving something. Crave it. I'm like, stranger danger, stranger danger. And then Takuma's complex of, I'm an adult, but he's a young child, but I'm an adult. Also, theoretically speaking, Dank was wrong and I get to tell him that tomorrow. Yeah. Look at him hop forward. He's so small and adorable. What the heck was that thing? I've never seen anything like it beforehand. But the weird thing is, I wasn't scared at all. I hate that line because it's now starting to imply that, like, somehow, some way, some shape or form, he actually does know Koromon. And at this point, it could be like the game wants you to think that he was that mysterious boy that just randomly got thrown into a portal and no one knows where he's at. Although I don't think he's that boy. I'm 99% sure he's not that boy, only because I've taken them actually farther, so I know without a doubt he's not him. But, it does beg the question, and why does Koromon act like he knows him? And Gutsumon is back. Gutsumon.
この距離では
Looking angrier than ever. So how fast is Gutsumon? Because how fast that thing was moving is pretty scary. I don't know, I didn't really use it too much in Hacker's Memory or Cyber Sleuth. I mean, I did evolve it a few times only because there's something I wanted to get out of it, but I never really actually used it. And then here's Koromon trying to protect you. So adorable. I can't not call Koromon adorable. He's just literally a ball with giant eyes and a mouth. Like, how can you not call that adorable? Look at him, he's working so hard to protect his, well, I guess soon to technically be Digimon Master if you couldn't kind of tell what it was going for story-wise. I'll protect you. I like how he's just like, I was like, but that might not be the best idea. Charging up. The little animation lights on, like, he's like charging to go to Super Saiyan or something. Now we get Agumon being adorable. His little tail. Also, something that's interesting too is why they just say start BAT, BAT, instead of just putting the full word battle. Why they secret make shrink it, I guess, down to BAT, but just leaving it at battle. But gameplay-wise, now we're actually at the gameplay. It's really similar to pretty much Tactics game, honestly. What also makes it more unique too is that they kept the vaccine data and virus type I guess they attack advantages slash chart weakness chart. I guess they kept that for the for this game, which surprised me. Yeah, let's say actually, you know what? Hold on, let me step back for a second because I have no idea where I was going to go with my next point. Because, like I said, I am tired, but I'm gonna finish this out because that's what I do. But do you think they're actually ever gonna make another Final Fantasy Tactics game? I don't ever think they're going to, and the reason why I say that is even if they make it, it's probably gonna be not tactics like. And I say that only because right now they're doing a huge shift to go into just straight up real time strategy games or action games. Are basically just fighting in real time, so get that nothing special to it. And I feel like what's gonna happen is they'll probably remake the game, but it won't be tactical turn based. Only because this seems to be like almost a dying genre in a sense, even though it's not, but it seems like it. And Diavachi's always fall. I don't know. It seems strange to me. Just because like the times that are going on, it seems like these games are just not really pumped out as much as they used to, because people just seem to think they're like too slow or too boring. And obviously, I don't think that way, but at the same time, I kind of understand why they do. They're all about making money, and people right now like to play single-player or multiplayer games that are just like all action, quick speed. So you have a small genre of people that want to play the strategy games, or the games that are like very unique and require certain strategies, otherwise you'll just lose. It's not that people don't want it, because people definitely do want it, it's just the demand for it is getting smaller and smaller by the day, sadly. I do like this little scene right here with Agumon, just like the way they have his animations, and then they actually bring it back a lot, where you just see him doing his little way of movement and stuff like that, and like they make him as live as possible, which is actually really cool. Another question too, would you have wished that they brought back Tai, or are you fine with all the new characters? To me, I don't know, because if they did bring back Tai, it means they'd have a more set story where you can't really make choices, but that's also fine, because you could make a more unique story in a sense, because don't get me wrong, making choices always makes for a really unique games like that, or having choices for people to make always makes for a unique game, but the same aspect too, or on the same note, it becomes difficult to write that story, because you have to write it for every choice that they make. And it's also the question of whether or not you're going to make the choices that actually matter, or are you going to get the illusion of choice, when the illusion of choice is also not a... It's a good thing, but not a thing you should rely on, because at certain points it just can make people angry, because the fact that their choices don't actually matter. But at the same time, it also makes it that you can make a very powerful story that is unique. without having to worry about whatever decisions they try and make, because again, you're only giving them the illusion of it, which is what I don't know this game is doing, if it's doing the illusion of choice or actual choice, because right now it seems like it's more the illusion of choice so far, but like I said, I've only had like part 2, and that's really not far into the game, by probably by like, I don't know, part 5 or like chapter 2 or whatever, because I have no idea if it's like by chapters or parts. But say by part 5 or chapter 2, I guess I should have a better idea of whether or not it's an actual choice-based game or an illusion of choice. But then if it's an illusion of choice, people can't die. Illusion of choice still means people can die. It's just not all of your choices will matter. It's only certain ones will matter, such as like how fast you do certain things or certain things you say.
いや、同じようなタイプの生き物なのかって意味で聞いたんだけど。あいつら、ひょっとしてあの岩みたいなやつ以外にも。
Like he sounds so confident saying something that's probably not a good thing to say, but he sounds so confident saying it. Also, I know they didn't really get into it, but I still wonder what the hell these like little light slash puffballs are that are just flowing out of these spider lilies. Because I probably mentioned this before too, because I feel like that should be a high priority. Wondering like, am I sucking in some drug that's making me hallucinate? Well, it should be like LSD. That'd be an interesting thing. Oh god.
誰かまだこの近くに僕の仲間がいるかもしれない。
Also, another thing too that was interesting, this will be the last thing I talk about. He refers, Agumon keeps saying that they're, he refers to them as not being a monster, but what would they consider themselves as? Because I don't remember, because like I said, I've really only watched this movie, I didn't really watch the series too much, I know a bit about it. I don't remember if it's the Digimons that call themselves Digimon, or if it's humans that call them Digimon, and if that's the case, that humans being it, what would Agumon refer to himself and like the others as? Because he keeps saying that they're not monsters and that they actually have names and everything like that, but at the same time, what are you actually then in that case? Because I don't think he sees himself as an animal either. So, I mean, maybe I'm just being overly, I guess, perturbed by it, I guess. Inducive. I don't know. I'm too tired to think straight. With that, Big Cat will be signing out. Hope you guys enjoy the day. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, and there'll be more to come without a doubt. Toodaloo. Actually, I'm not gone yet because I can't. Ha 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 ha. It's not the end yet, so obviously I'm not going to just be going right away. Okay. Now I'm gone because it's part 1's over, baby.